Hello and welcome along to Bar from the Truth, Ep.8. How are you doing today, my friend?
Yeah, but man, I'm all good. I'm all good. How are you, bro?
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, not too long. Just got in the house, finished work. Um, this episode's going to be, I guess, slightly different. We haven't really got anything specific to discuss with you, apart from like a couple of sort of trivial things like World Cups, etc. So it's not going to be probably not going to be the longest episode ever, and also probably not going to be the most formal. So it's probably just going to sort of spin off the cuff here and there.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. Just gonna go with the flow, really.
mm,
Um, but one thing to let you all know about, Far From the Truth is now on Spotify, so you'll catch all of our episodes on YouTube. And if you just want to hear the audio, it's also now on Spotify as well,
mhm,
um, which is always good. And hopefully soon we'll have Apple as well.
absolutely. So make sure you have a look on Spotify.
Yeah,
Drop us a follow. Give us a 5-star rating, please. But if
and
you
if you're
want,
watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe on there as well.
absolutely, absolutely. So, where do you want
So,
to start today, man?
international break.
Yeah.
Um, some some big performances from a lot of the teams, the big countries, and I
Mm.
suppose it just got me thinking. Like, who's your about the World Cup coming up? And I love a World Cup summer. It just fills that gap.
Yeah, for sure.
And this summer was painful. Like, it was just so long from the end of the season to the start of the season, and
Yeah,
you had the Club World Cup, but nothing really hits the same. And we haven't. It's been a long time since we've had a World Cup in the summer as well, because
yeah.
the last World Cup was in Saudi, obviously. No, where was it? Qatar.
The
Yeah,
Qatar.
yeah, Qatar. So it was during the winter, so we haven't had a summer World Cup in ages.
Absolutely. And well, you're going, aren't you? Are you still planning to go?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try.
Mm.
Yeah, hopefully,
Yeah.
because it's at the Azteca, the opening game, so I'm
Yeah.
hoping to be there. Don't really want to miss that. And
Yeah.
then, what do you think of this three country tournament?
If I'm really honest, so obviously, yeah, it's 3 countries. It's is it 46 teams now as well?
Hmm.
Obviously, it's the first time like both of those things have happened, so it's kind of one of those where you have to wait and see. Um, but I guess obviously what we're used to is 1 or 2 countries sort of holding it, and obviously 32 teams, which
Yeah.
is obviously, yeah, just like I said, it's what we're used to. However, I'm not going to say no to watching like a game at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and then 8 p.m. Like, if I can watch 6 games of football in a day, like, it's no
Yeah.
problem for me.
Trust.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
do you know what? I think going back to the Euros that we just had recently, a couple of years ago, um, some of the better games in that tournament were like the lower teams.
Yeah.
I remember one of the best games that I watched that tournament was Georgia against Turkey. I think Turkey
Mm.
won like 2-1, but like it was end to end football. Like both teams wanted to win, and like sometimes I find that better than like the big teams going up against each other. It's very cagey affair. Like sometimes ends like 1-0. It's not ever like a great game of football. So like we'll see, we'll see. I think it's a lot. Um, and obviously, I think most teams you're going to be like your group games are all going to be based in one country, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
That makes sense.
but yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. How do you feel about it?
Do you know what it is, mate? I think one of the things I always enjoyed about the World Cup was kind of like the immersion of the culture of the
Mm,
host country. Like,
mm,
I remember the South Africa World Cup with the vuvuzelas, and like
yeah,
all the attention was on South Africa,
yeah,
um, and then all the attention was on Qatar, and
mm,
then I like that kind of immersion of the culture of the country, and I feel a little bit that it takes a little bit of the attention away the host country. This
Yeah,
three country structure that they've got this time. As you
yeah,
said though, like it might make for a brilliant tournament, and
mm,
people don't like change very much. They like what they're used to,
yeah,
and I think one of the positive changes that we saw work so far and last season was the new Champions League format. So
mm,
it might be for the better.
yeah,
And also, I do like that it gives a few more teams a chance to play in the World Cup because
absolutely.
you get to see some clashes. Everyone's going to be like it's a once in a lifetime thing playing in the World Cup for most players
Mm,
and for some countries. So you're just going to see a lot of passion. You're probably going to be introduced to a lot of new fans that we might not have seen before,
yeah,
and it's just super exciting, mate. And
good players as well,
um,
mate, that like might
yeah,
have gone under. You know how many stars come out of a World Cup or Euros, and like there could be that one player from God knows where, like who's just like comes out of the blue, has a great tournament, and then gets signed. Next
yeah.
season.
Do you
Um,
remember? That's how Arsenal signed Andre Arshavin, isn't it?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And then another one that springs to mind is James Rodriguez.
yeah.
I
2014 was
love,
crazy.
yeah, he scored all that. Oh, what a player he was.
Yeah, that
Um,
that was a joke. I think another one that like 2010 Mesut Ozil. Um, I
oh
think
yeah,
he was obviously like a good player back then, but like I think he popped up on my radar. Obviously we're probably a bit older than some, but yeah, like a tournament will always pop up with like a couple of players out of nowhere.
yeah, yeah. I remember when Özil kind of because it was a really young German team.
Mm.
It was almost when Thomas Muller as well was kind of
Yeah,
like coming
yeah,
through, and
yeah,
and it was kind of this because before it was like Schweinsteiger and you had
yeah,
Philip Lahm and you had Miroslav Klose up top, and it was kind of like the new Germany, and everyone didn't really have them as favourites, but then they turned out to be. I think Sami Khedira was playing quite a lot
yeah, yeah,
in that, and
yeah.
they were really good. They were really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And I think yeah, it's one of them. Like I am looking forward to it, man. Like I think, like you say, like it's a long old summer when you don't have like a Euros or a World Cup.
yeah,
Um, like I mean, I was bored this summer, so I'm looking forward to it. Being out in the sun with the mates, maybe a couple of drinks, watch England games, watch Met
yeah.
games.
I mean,
Uh,
it just brings the country together, doesn't it? Like when England are playing in the World Cup, like
Absolutely, man.
it's coming home, comes out,
Hmm.
and everyone's in beer gardens.
Yeah,
The whole country kind of like gets together and like is hoping for the best.
yeah.
And speaking of that, how do you fancy England's chances?
Um, I think. It's weird. So obviously, Thomas Tuchel's in charge at the moment,
Okay, my cat's just
making another
decided
appearance.
to make another appearance on the show.
um, I think with England, obviously with Tuchel in charge at the moment, I think like it's a difficult one because I don't know if he knows like his best team at the moment, um, and I'm not sure who he is gonna like pick to go on the plane. So the one good thing I think about England this time is they look very solid defensively. Um, I'm not sure if they've even conceded in their qualifiers. So that's like one good thing. Obviously, you need that in a tournament. Um, so I think I think minimum they need to be getting to the semi final. Um, but then also like, what's the point in that? Like, really, they need to be winning it. Otherwise, you might as well just stay at home. So that's got to be their aim. And if they have a bit of luck on their way, there's no reason why they can't do it. How about you?
You know what? It does make me wonder if England missed their best chance to win a tournament and a World Cup over the
Yeah,
past the Euros and a World Cup over the past few seasons. Because when you look back at it, they were kind of the favourites in terms of the strength and
yeah,
quality of play. Harry Kane was in his prime. Um, and we had such a bit good squad,
Mm,
and I do feel a little bit now that I'm looking at other teams and I'm thinking, okay, you got some serious players. Like looking at Spain with Yamal,
mm,
France, even do you know what, mate? Holland are looking good again. They got some good players. Even Germany.
yeah,
Um, and then you're looking at. I don't know if the South American teams are going to be as solid this time round, especially like teams like Brazil. I'm not
mm,
quite sure if they're going to be as good, but
yeah,
I think England might have maybe. And I think this was the fear. Did we? Why did we wait so long in getting rid of Gareth Southgate?
yeah, yeah. I'm inclined to agree, and I think England's best opportunity to win was also partly down to the team that we had, but also partly down to the fact that other teams were going through like rebuilds.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, like you say, like Spain, from 2018 up to the most recent Euros that they won, were probably going for a rebuild. Germany the same. Portugal kind of the same. Um, France always there and thereabouts. Obviously, like we've had Croatia, who have sort of been like
Yeah,
a mainstay in the last stages of each tournament since 2018. Who sort of no one would have thought that. So I think England probably did miss their best opportunity to win something. I still think they can,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
they definitely missed the best opportunity because obviously all the teams now are sort of coming off the back of young players coming into their team who have like grown over the last couple of tournaments, and now is they're sort of like they're sort of in their prime now. So it'll be a good tournament, man. I reckon it'll be a really really good
yeah,
tournament.
yeah. It will, it will. And do you know the one area of the England team that worries me a little bit? And
Mm,
it's I think the goalkeeper,
yeah,
and I think as good as Gahey is, and it's really who's going to actually partner him at the back.
yeah,
I don't see the standard of back four that other countries have got,
yeah,
or especially in the centre back area. Obviously, Guehi's quality player, but he hasn't proven it at the top level,
yeah.
which the World Cup will be.
Mm,
And then you look at countries that have got Saliba, Van Dijk,
mm,
um, and for example, France's Kanate and Saliba potentially.
yeah,
And I just feel like that area might let England down a bit, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
really hope they do it, and they can. They can.
yeah, yeah. They definitely can. I mean, who would you say your favorite is going into the? If you had to put some money on it now, who would you say is gonna come away with the trophy?
I'm I'm gonna I'll I'm gonna go with Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
think they play such good football,
Mm,
and I've gone on about him a lot on this podcast so far, but I do really think Lamine Yamal's special,
yeah.
and if he can stay fit, he's just no other team's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got Mbappe, but I don't know. I don't know if Mbappe's got that what Yamal has, and I haven't seen what Yamal has since a Messi or a Ronaldo. Just that ability to
Mm,
score out of nowhere, create something out of nowhere, and if you look at that team, it's just quality everywhere.
yeah. I think so. I think my favorite is their local neighbours in Portugal.
Not a
I,
bad shout.
yeah. I think like, and people might think that's a weird pick, but I think their defense is slightly better than people think it is.
Hey, they got Nuno Mendes,
Yeah, mate. Nuno Mendes obviously at left back. Um, I
Ruben
think
Diaz centre back.
yeah, Ruben Diaz at centre back. I think Dallo is a solid enough player. Like he's a defensive player, like, and that's probably what they need on that side. Um, Diogo Costa in goal. He's a good keeper. He's good at penalty saves as well. And then obviously you've got the sort of famous midfield that they have. Bernardo, Bruno, they can Ruben Neves. They can chuck a
Maybe
few more.
Vitinha and
Yeah,
João Neves. What's it? Is it
yeah,
Neves? Yeah.
Neves, yeah. So like they've got a mix of old and young players in there, and then obviously sort of on the flanks you've got like a Rafa Leao. Um, Obviously it's probably going to be big CR7 up top, and he's going to have something to say for sure.
He's
Uh,
got to have a last. He's got to have like a last hurrah, doesn't he?
I'd actually, I would, if England don't win it, I'd love Portugal to win
I'll tell you what, the Messi stands
it. Yeah,
wouldn't I wonder how much they would cry if Ronaldo went and
yeah, man.
won the World Cup. That would just be mental. There must be another chapter at the end of the story for him.
I
There
know.
must be.
Can you
And
imagine?
he's finally got the team like to
Mm,
kind of do it because for many years Portugal it was all about Ronaldo,
yeah,
um, and the team weren't quite as good as Ronaldo. But now it's almost flipped
yeah.
flipped around, and
Sort of like it's weird because like obviously at the start of his Portugal career, I think his first tournament was like Euro 2004, and he had like Luis Figo at the end of his career. He had like players like Manish, Samal, like some of these other like big names, and then like after that tournament, maybe after World Cup 2006, they had like a really like a lull of a period where
yeah.
their second best player was probably like Nani.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. And do you
like,
remember Quaresma?
yeah, yeah, trust always like outside the foot and that.
Yeah,
Uh, but like now it's got to the point at the end of his career where they've got another good team again. So I think now for them is a good opportunity as any. Um, I don't think it's going to be easy for any team, and I think there'll be a couple of dark horses. Obviously, we don't know exactly every team that's qualified yet. Obviously, a lot of the qualifiers around the world are still going on, but I'm sure like one or two of the African teams or South American or sort of a couple of the lower European teams, like mate, Norway. Um,
I was just thinking. I was going to ask you
yeah,
because usually they don't make it, do they?
mate, I
And
saw a thing. They've missed their last 12 major tournaments, and
have
they've
they?
finally qualified.
And now they've got so Erling Haaland's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Erdegaard.
Yeah,
That's going to be interesting. And I saw that Sweden got beat 2-0,
yeah,
and I think they might miss out. And with two strikers like Jokeres and Isak
yeah,
up there, that would be do you know what? I really just want to see all the best players there. I
yeah,
hope all the best teams qualify. I don't want to see. Do you remember the times when Italy missed out and it
yeah,
just didn't quite feel the same? And
yeah.
I just want as many of the best players in the world to be there as possible.
Absolutely, bro. Like I think probably yeah. In the last World Cup, obviously they missed. Like Haaland missed out. Obviously with Norme, so did Odegaard. Like there's been times where like Ibrahimovic missed out with
Yeah,
Sweden, and it's just like yeah, like you say. Like I think that's one good thing about the 46 teams. Like we're gonna see hopefully more of the best players in the world playing. That's what a World Cup is.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, man. I think yeah, there'll be a few sort of dark horse teams. I think
Yeah.
yeah, one or two of the African.
Who's your dark horse?
Um, I might do two. So I think Norway one.
Okay.
Uh, I think in their group, obviously, Haaland is just the goal machine. And
Scored a
he
hat trick as well, didn't he?
yeah, and he will score goals no matter what. But also, I think defensively they've been quite good in their group. And also, my second team is an African team. I think Ghana, bro. I think defensively, they're not amazing. But obviously they've got like Thomas Partey in the midfield. They've obviously got Semenyo, Kudus, a couple
Bro,
of other, yeah, a couple of other players in there. Um,
already that's trouble.
yeah,
Those two wingers.
bro, imagine them two coming at you left and right, and then swapping over like,
Oh,
yeah. So I think they'll be a handful. So yeah, I think those two teams are probably my dark horses at the moment. How about yourself?
do you know what? I go back to performances from Georgia and Morocco
Yeah,
um, in the last World Cup, and just the togetherness of those teams. And I do think a South American team are gonna do quite well this
yeah,
time out. Um, I want to say Ecuador might be a bit of a dark horse.
okay,
I like a few of their players. I think Mexico might as well. They always seem to perform better than they actually are for the World Cup and never stop running. But I think Georgia as well might surprise a few people. They've got, um, you know, Kvaratskhelia,
yeah,
he's just quality. He's
yeah,
just quality. How Arsenal didn't give
yeah.
Napoli that money in January,
I know.
I will never know
It's literally 50 million quid as well.
for him because he's just different. He's so good. He's so good. And yeah, so I think Georgia might do well, apart from the big European teams, and
Mm,
um, just because of the togetherness of them, they really seem to have that fight. And I think a lot of these a lot of these teams, these smaller teams, probably play with a bit more of a club mentality of being
yeah,
really well organised and have that togetherness.
yeah,
And I think some of the bigger teams might lack that a little bit, which will see the dark horses coming through. So
yeah. No, I completely agree. And obviously you've just touched on uh Mexico there, which is obviously a home nation for you.
yeah,
Uh, and obviously they are one of the host nations as well, so they've got a bit of home advantage there. How do you see it going for like the other two home nations in America and Canada?
yeah, I think as a home nation, you're always going to have a bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to be interesting to see how America react to a World Cup
Mm,
because obviously it's not football's not their main sport. They
yeah.
they don't even call it football; they call it soccer. So um, it's gonna be interesting to see the spotlight on the game of soccer
Yeah.
and seeing how are the fans going to have the passion that a normal home nation is going to have,
Mm,
because usually it's American football or
yeah.
basketball.
Yeah.
So it's going to be intriguing. And I expect, and this is not me being biased, I just have a feeling Mexico will probably do a little bit better than America and Canada.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really. I'm not too sure who they even have playing for them. I know Alfonso Davies plays for
Mm,
Canada, and I know Canada were quite good and probably have invested quite heavily in the football
yeah.
because of the World Cup coming up. Who's that striker that plays for Canada as well? I think he's just signed for Juve.
Oh,
Uh,
Jonathan David.
Jonathan Davies, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And I think yeah, I think obviously the the games probably in Mexico are going to be a lot more passionate than they will in
Mate,
Canada. I think football is like a way of life in Mexico. So I'm looking forward to like because the last tournament that was in Mexico was I want to say 80.
1970s. It was.
Yeah,
I think it was the last time the World Cup was in Mexico. Was the Hand of God by Maradona, and he
yeah,
scored that
86. Yeah,
crazy goal at the Azteca. You know
yeah,
that
yeah,
goal that everyone talks about with Maradona.
yeah, yeah.
And like my dad actually went to a few of the games in the World Cup when he was a kid, and all he ever says to me, like, still wears his Mexico '70 T-shirt sometimes, and
Yeah,
all he ever says to me is just how incredible it was.
Yeah.
literally anyone. No, everyone was just talking about it. People were excited for years,
Mm.
um, and it's good. I can't wait because I know how passionate it's going to be and how much the players are going to give because it's a once in a lifetime. Like,
Yeah, for
imagine
sure.
the feeling of kicking off that World Cup in the Azteca Stadium in
Yeah.
front of almost 100,000 people with the Mexican badge on your shirt. And trust me, the stadiums there get crazy. So yeah, I can't. I actually can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. Have you seen the, just to like go into it a little bit, like obviously some of the stadiums that they're going to be playing at across the three nations, obviously the Azteca. Have you seen the, I don't know what the stadium's called, but it's in like Monterrey and it's got like the
Yeah,
mountain in the background. That stadium looks fucking insane, bro.
yeah, it's insane. It's. I think it. That's another thing that people don't take into consideration. Yeah, Mexico City, the altitude there is
Mm,
crazy, and the Monterrey Stadium, the altitude's crazy. Mexico's quite a mountainous region and country, so I tell you what, you go there, if you get off the plane in Mexico City and you decide to go and play a game of football, you're going to
yeah,
be absolutely blowing.
yeah,
So they have that advantage because they're
yeah,
used to it.
yeah. That's true.
I
Yeah,
remember coming to the UK being at sea level and
like,
running, and it just seemed a bit different.
yeah, and it's one of them. It's like the teams are probably going to want to get there as soon as possible to try and sort of
Yeah.
bet. I know they're obviously top level athletes and they probably do things in their day to day to try and help, but it never really does anything until you really get there.
Mm.
And obviously you start playing, so that will be something to obviously get used to for some of them. Obviously to go to a couple of the American stadiums. Most of them are going to be played at the sort of NFL stadiums, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Those are
like,
huge. Those stadiums are crazy as well.
hey, bro, they are mad. They're like 80, 90,000
Yeah.
stadiums. I think one's in Kansas City. You've got, I think the final's going to be held at the MetLife Stadium in New York or New Jersey.
There's
Uh,
a.
yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, it'd
there's
be
just
some.
nothing like a World Cup, is there?
No, no, absolutely. Like,
I think it's. I think it's. If you ask me, my favorite thing in football, it's got to be a World Cup. Just the
yeah,
excite. Like, do you remember at school we used to like get those like sticker books uh, and
yeah,
like try and fill it all out, and that would come out a few months in advance. And
yeah,
I think I've still got a few lying around like from back in the day somewhere. But yeah, just the build up and just that trophy. There's nothing like it. Like when you see it, it's just different, isn't it?
yeah. I know, 100%. And I think like one other point is it's like I said, like there might be like five games of football on in one day, and like
Yeah.
I don't think any sane person would turn that the opportunity down to like watch five different games in a day. And like I like all the, obviously we're probably going to see most of it on like the UK coverage, like BBC ITV, and like all the pundits that they'll get on to talk about the different games. And like it's always like interesting to see what like different people think. So yeah, I'm really really looking forward to it, man.
I'll tell you who's not going to be happy.
Mm.
The missus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Five
yeah,
games in a day. You having a laugh?
yeah. She is not gonna let you get away with that at all.
No, absolutely not. I'm gonna have to like negotiate something. Like have to watch
Yeah.
Love Island in the evening or something if she lets me watch the
Or
game.
just get it up on your phone on the side. You'll be all right.
Yeah, trust. Like keep it. What are you watching? Nah, nothing.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, one thing. Like, what is if you were to look back at any of the World Cups,
yeah.
do you remember which one was kind of like the standout for you that you always think about?
Mm.
If there is one, it might be a few or a few moments maybe.
Yeah, I think there's a few moments. I think for me, the first World Cup that I remember watching, and I remember watching it in school. I remember I had the kit, the Brazil kit. Um, and you'll probably laugh at this. And I'll probably find it somewhere. There's a picture of me, and I've got like Ronaldo when he had the hair in the final with like it was like bald, yeah, but he had the little like hair
Oh
at the
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
yeah.
Ronaldo
I
trim.
had I had that trim.
That's
Uh,
send it to me. That's going to be the title of the next podcast.
Say that, say that. But like that, like I remember like him in the final, obviously scoring both goals, and like Brazil winning their fifth World Cup, which obviously they haven't won one since then. And mate, that team was absolutely ridiculous.
Was it 2002 or?
So that was 2002. It was
Yeah,
Japan and South Korea, and they had um, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Lucio. Walter Samuel, I think. They had in midfield Gilberto Silva, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Kleberson, and then obviously Ronaldo up front. And mate, that team was something else. And I remember obviously the Ronaldinho free kick against England in that
yeah.
tournament. Um,
Who did England have? Was it David Seaman?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, David Seaman, yeah, and he got beat by Ronaldinho free kick.
yeah,
So yeah, I remember that tournament. Trying to think, like 2006. Obviously, um, was Zidane headbutt in the final. We can't go too far off of that, and that was insane.
yeah.
Um,
Do you know what the 2006 World Cup for me was like the first one I can fully remember,
mm,
and I remember leading up to it, Wayne Rooney broke his metatarsal,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
was just everywhere. Like everyone was like completely shocked, and I remember Joe Cole scored this goal,
yeah.
hit his chest. I can't remember who it was against.
I think it was like Sweden or something.
Yeah, I think it was Sweden. It was, and then he like hits it off his chest and then just volleys it into the top
Yeah,
bins. The amount of times I tried to recreate that, like, was crazy. And
yeah,
then that was in Germany, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was in Germany. Yeah,
And I think that was one of my favourite finals ever. Was France,
Italy. Yeah,
Italy,
yeah,
and Zidane and Thierry on. Oh, what a team that
yeah,
was!
yeah. That
Was
was great.
Vieira as well in that
Yeah,
team? Yeah.
yeah, bro.
Um,
Patrice Evra was there. Mate, there's some Nate Ribery was playing.
yeah,
Mate,
yeah. That was kind of Ribery's like kind of emergence, wasn't it? A little bit.
yeah,
And didn't Ronaldo get Rooney sent off, and then he like winked at the
yeah,
cameras as
yeah,
well at the
yeah, yeah,
quarters.
yeah,
Yeah, what a
yeah,
World Cup that was! That was
yeah.
crazy. Like so
That was,
much happened.
and then like you go on to like 2010, and obviously the Jubilani ball. Do you remember that? And the ball was like
Yeah.
moving about everywhere, and like Diego Forlan got it down to
Oh,
like he scored like loads of goals with that, but like a couple of free kicks where the ball was like moving all over the place.
yeah,
Um, Obviously that was a great World Cup as well. Obviously, I don't even remember. It might have been Mexico, South Africa in the first game. I don't know if they played against Mexico. They played against Son and they drew 1-1. And they scored like the first goal of the World Cup, and it was like, it was mad goal.
Bafana goal for. Like, I
Yeah,
remember the commentary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Peter
trust,
Drew, Peter Drury, I think.
Lala, that was his name or something
Yeah,
like that.
Chabalala.
Yeah,
Yeah, he put
uh,
that top binge. The
yeah,
thing is, that's exactly what the World Cup's about, and that's why I was saying that. Is it going to be a shame having it in three different countries? Like, do we miss out on moments like that? But
mm,
yeah, that what a World Cup that was.
yeah.
I always remember when I think Asamoah Gyan for Ghana. It was
Oh,
like
and
he
yeah,
scored so many goals in that tournament, and one game I remember in particular was Ghana versus Uruguay, and I
yeah,
think Chewy Suarez was up to his feet in training again, and like I think that ball was going in, and he like handballed it, got sent
yeah.
off, and they ended up winning on pens.
Try. That's actually crazy as well. Like,
Yeah,
imagine that penalty would have made them the first African team, I think, to get to the semis.
yeah,
which obviously Morocco have done since then. But yeah, that was crazy. And then like you go on to like 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Germany beating Brazil 7-1 in the semis. Mate, that was devastating, man. That was absolutely devastating.
Mate,
That German team was a machine, mate. They were a
what a
machine.
team.
Yeah,
And to do that to the home nation with all the momentum that they had,
yeah,
that was crazy. And then
yeah.
obviously they went on to beat Argentina.
Mm,
Higuain missed that 1-on-1.
yeah, yeah. Messi couldn't get it going, and then obviously Mario Götze came on. It was like the 116th minute or 110th minute or something. So it wasn't long to go, and he scored. Um, and obviously, yeah, another World Cup for them. And then you go on to like 2018 in
Was it
Russia.
Rocker? Yeah. Was
That
that
was a,
France?
that was a great tournament, I thought. I really like that one. Obviously, France won at the sort of emergence of Mbappe on the world
Mm.
stage.
Yeah.
First teenager to score in the final since Pele.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. That's mad.
so obviously it was good. It was a pretty good tournament for England, although they did get very lucky with their draw. I think. Obviously,
Yeah,
like
I
I
don't
think,
think they really played it. Who was it? Croatia that beat us in that one.
yeah, yeah, in the semis, yeah,
That's how close. That is how close. Like,
yeah, man,
oh, if is that the one as well where Harry Kane should have squared it to Raheem Sterling?
yeah, yeah, literally in that game, yeah, yeah, he like went round the keeper and like hit the post instead of
Yeah,
squaring it.
yeah.
Actually, better.
Going back to Raheem Sterling, I'm pretty sure in that World Cup as well, like Sterling shot from like 40 yards and it hit the side netting. And I remember like I was watching it in a pub and the whole pub started going mental. What went in and then it was like the ball started like rolling away and everyone was just like I still remember that. I thought it went in that goal.
And then obviously you've got obviously yeah the most recent one, 2022, which probably had the best game that a lot of people have probably ever seen. That final. Do you know what's mad? Yeah, and people don't believe me. Yeah, I didn't even watch the final, bro.
What?
So I didn't watch the final, yeah, because I was at a pantomime at the Hippodrome in Bristol.
Mate, that's actually mad weird because I did watch the final, but I went to the tobacco factory in Bristol to watch
Yeah,
like theatre performance after it, and I was so angry.
yeah, bro. I was sat in there, World Cup final. I was sat in there watching like I think it was like I don't even know. It was like Cinderella or something on the pantomime, and I was literally just sat there and like it was a good show to be fair. I'm not gonna lie, it was a
Yeah,
good show, but like it got to like the interval halfway through, and I looked at my phone and it was like 2-0 to Argentina. I was like, oh, game's done.
over.
So obviously then I put my phone away, and then at the end of the show, I looked back on my phone, bro. It was 3-3, and I was like, what have I missed? And then yeah, obviously by the time I got home, it was over. But yeah, so I was gutted I missed the game, but obviously I've seen all the highlights and all that sort of stuff. But man, it just looked like it was the craziest game ever.
Oh, bro, it was. It was. I've never expect. And do you know what? I was so emotionally invested in that game because
Mm.
I just knew it was over for Ronaldo if
Mm.
Messi won it, and I'd
Yeah.
spent my whole life defending him, bro. Like I spent. It was almost like my whole like arguments about Penaldo and all of this came down to that one game. And if Messi got that World Cup, it would be
Mm.
like, well, he's lost two World Cup finals,
Yeah.
and if he won it, he'd have the World Cup over Ronaldo. So
Yeah. I know,
I was
man.
so invested, and I thought they'd done it easy. I thought in the first half they were going to win it. And do you know
Yeah.
what? As well, I didn't really understand why Argentina was so good because you just like
No.
looked at the team and you looked at their players, and it wasn't like they had like the Carlos Tevez. Do you remember like? I remember on FIFA Argentina, like if you just wanted to like you play three at the back, you put
Mm.
like Aguero, Messi, Higuain,
Yeah.
um, like Di Maria. Like they had so many like mad players. And then this
Yeah.
time round, it was just Messi. They had like McAllister, who obviously like they had Rodrigo de Paul,
Yeah.
and there was it didn't have the same hype about it, and they lost their first game, I'm pretty sure, in the World Cup.
Yeah, it was weird because obviously they sort of came off the back of like it was like 35 unbeaten games, and then their first game, yeah, they lost to Saudi Arabia 2-1,
Yeah,
and then it was like a big crisis, and then obviously they
they beat
they
Mexico.
yeah they scraped through the group, to be fair, and then obviously I think they beat Australia in the round of 16, and then the quarterfinals they beat I think it was Holland on penalties, because you
Oh yeah,
remember.
what a game that was.
Yeah, Wout Weghorst scored in like the 118th minute or
Yeah,
something. And then yeah, so they beat them on pens. Then the semis, they beat, I think it was Croatia. They beat them quite comfortably, and then obviously yeah into the final. But mate, yeah, they didn't have like the best team ever. It was just like it was more like it was like a workhorse team, and then Messi was just like the standout player. Um, like you had like Enzo Fernandez, obviously yeah, like you
yeah,
say.
that was Enzo Fernandez, McAllister. Like it was their breakout, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it was like it was a proper, and obviously they had Emi Martinez in goal, who at the time was obviously yeah probably one of the best keepers in the world. Um, so yeah, it was like a proper like workhorse team, and then Messi was just the X factor.
Yeah,
See Julian Alvarez as well was
yeah,
pretty
good
tremendous.
player.
Lautaro Martinez. So they do have some really good players, to be
Yeah,
fair.
they do,
Uh,
they do.
and I think they'll be there or thereabouts again in this World Cup, if I'm honest.
Probably, they always are. They always are.
I don't know how I feel about Brazil's chances. Obviously, they've got Carlo Ancelotti now in charge, um, but I don't
I
know. I
don't
just
know if
feel like
I. Yeah, I'm just
just
trying to
don't
think
know.
who they.
Yeah, obviously, I assume it's probably going to be like Allison or Edison in goal. Um, Fullbacks. Trying to think. I'm probably being really stupid and like not remembering, but
There's no one
trying.
that jumps to mind though, mate. Like gone are the days of. Do you remember they had Dani Alves and Marcelo?
Yeah,
I
mad.
mean, you got Gabriel. He's
Yeah,
starting.
yeah, yeah. Centre backs. Yeah, Gabriel.
Then they'll
Um,
have. I know that Zhao. I'm forgetting his name. The guy that plays for West Ham always plays for them.
uh, uh, I ain't got a clue.
Oh,
Um,
anyway,
but you could have
that
like you
just
could have Murillo from
yeah.
Nottingham Forest at centre back. You could have him there. I think they still play with like Casemiro. That's how you know. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's a good player, but I just don't think he's got it in him to be like winning
No,
World Cups. Like when you're playing with Casemiro and CDM. Do you know what I mean?
no,
Uh, oh, and then, but it's weird with Brazil because they always like they never play with like their best team. I don't think they always have like a couple of players from like the Brazilian league in their team, and like
they
who like
do,
you've
they
never heard
do.
of before. I don't know if it's like something like they have to do or something, but it is always a bit weird. Like they never have like a full like European like team. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
and
they,
they usually never have a tried and tested manager either, though, which is interesting. It's always kind of like
it's like
like
a
an old
homegrown
Brazilian
man.
player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Facts. Like the last few managers, I've never heard of them before. Like,
yeah,
do you know they've never managed in
rough.
Europe or anything. So it'll be interesting to see what Ancelotti's like with them. Do you know what though? I think before his time is over, I hope to see Mourinho in charge of Portugal at a World Cup. Man, I would love that. To be fair, I was hoping he'd be the Portuguese manager for this World Cup. Him and Ronaldo. That would be insane. But
Yeah, that
uh,
would be some send off, wouldn't it?
yeah, absolutely. So I'm hoping that happens one day.
100%. But I mean, I'm buzzing for it. I can't wait. We got some Premier League fixtures back this weekend as well. Some
Yes,
big games coming up. It will all be covered here on Far From the Truth.
absolutely.
We have a predictions show as well called Points on the Board. Comes
Yeah,
out each Friday where we discuss our predictions for the upcoming fixtures in the week,
yeah.
and we review what we came up with last week. So
Hmm.
keep your eyes peeled for that.
Absolutely.
and thank you for listening to this one. Bit of a different podcast, just got carried away with the World Cup then, but I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it as always.
Yeah, same, man. And obviously, like I said, mate, it's gonna come around quick. Like, it's nearly Christmas, and then before we know it, end of the season will be near, and then we'll be out in the sun, probably linking up and watching a couple
100%.
of games. Probably. So yeah, it'll be here before we know it. So it's a good episode to get in. Um, and yeah, man, let's see you on the next one.
Yeah. See you on the next one, and don't forget to like and subscribe and give us a follow if you're listening on Spotify.
No worries. Thank you.
Catch you in a bit.